You are now watching Mach Green Podcast.
Okay, let's go.
You are now watching Mach Green Podcast. Give it up for Daniel Smith and Jones.
Oh, can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Mike's muted.
There we go.
Welcome to Mach Green. Penalty
Yo.
on Daniel Smith, just like the beginning of that awful game. Yes, Sunday, Jets Bucks, and like I told everybody, the Jets suck, man. They suck. And here's the thing, right? When we get into this here, I don't even know what the name of the first topic is, but just throw it up on the board.
Okay.
And so we can just get right into this.
It's literally what everybody was saying. Nobody was surprised. It's the Jets losing the Jets way. The Jets losing in Jets fashion.
And that's the thing. YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Facebook, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. But this is going to be what we talked about is going to be a very long season for the New York Jets. Even when they get things that break their way, they fall in front of themselves. This team is giving up over 30 points a game.
Yep.
Now, I know that this defense is better than that, but this is what happens when you sign a corner like Stevens, who was one of the worst corners in 2024, and then you sign him to be opposite Sauce Gardner. Then Sauce Gardner goes down late in the game. And then you have an issue of just what's there. And again, it irks me that every time the Jets are in a position and they're handed the keys to win a game, they can't close out. I mean, it's been years since they've been able to do this. That block is a trademark. That is something that you look back on years from now and you say, hey, you remember that time that McDonald blocked that field goal kick and took it to the house when we won the game in Tampa? Yeah, we only won 4 games that year, but man, that was an exciting time.
Well, I mean, literally right after that, the Eagles did the same thing against the Rams. Like they took it back to the house too. It was and
that's the thing. That's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
Won.
They won.
I'm sitting in the corner, slumped against this very closet that's behind me. And I'm just kind of watching the game go by, and I'm like, here's the killer kick. And I'm like, what if he misses this kick, though? And that's what I'm thinking in my head because I'm always just trying to give myself an out. All of a sudden, he blocks it. I stand up. I'm screaming at the TV screen, go, go, go. He scores. I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited. then I take a glance and I look down at the time. I say, "Oh, we lost."
Yeah, I was about to say because only because like as soon as that, because my boy FaceTime me, he was like, "Bro," he was like, "This is crazy, this and that," and I was like, "Dude," and then I looked at it and I was like, "It's too much time on the clock, especially with Baker Mayfield leading the charge with those Buccaneers, and it sucks, man, and especially being in Tampa, where it's like, I mean, they're 3-0 for the first time or 3-0, 4-0, 3-0, right? We're 0-3.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. We're 0-3, so it's like it is what it is. But like they're 3-0 for like the first time since like 2005. So everybody in Tampa is going crazy. And with me, literally, I mean, I wear this hat to work, and people look at me and be like, "Man, like, they're like, you're brave for wearing that." And it's like, listen, man, like, and once again, that the number one thing we can say is, listen, the Jets lost in the only way the Jets know how to lose. And it's by literally having, just like you said in the chat on Sunday, we had the lead for 20 seconds. And then boom, that was taken from us. And it's literally really every game. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like if we look at the Steelers game, we had the lead for what, a minute?
Yep.
And then they went down the field and scored on us. We're not going to talk about week 2 because that was just, we knew what was going to happen with that. But
it's one of the worst games I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah.
It's that Buffalo game. And that Tampa game, if it wasn't for those 2 touchdowns, was not too far away from it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was getting to the point where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, this is like I was talking about before the season started, maybe this season being kind of like that McCown season with Robbie Anderson, where we were supposed to win 1 game and won 5, but they were in a lot of games. They threw the ball all over the place with Morton as a coordinator. I thought, hey, maybe we could be something like that, in its own way with Justin Fields. And then all of a sudden, it's like, this is worse than I've seen in forever, dude.
Not gonna lie, you know what the highlight of that game was? After that return, that block punt, how about Aaron Glenn high stepping it on the sideline? Like that was probably the highlight of the game. And then like afterwards, of course, you have that quarterback where like you have that head coach where you try to see the positivity, the guys didn't have no quit in them, this and that. It's like, yeah, but you still lost. Once again, another nail biter, and then in a game that you easily could have won. You know what I mean?
Again, your defense lets you down, and
Exactly.
That's your calling card, and you technically inherited a defensive team. So it's not like you inherited an offensive team with a bad defense. Like, no, it wasn't like that. This is a team that has always been a defensive-based team. You've got a stud up the middle. You've got a really good tackler in the middle. You've got Quincy who runs good side to side. You've got a stud supposedly in the corner.
Well, now with Quincy on the IR.
And that's the thing. It's like, remember, I spoke about this, I think, in the first episode when I said, where's the depth? Where is the depth on this team? There is nothing there. If one person goes down, this is a I don't know why people tried to sell a bill of goods like this team could be a 7, maybe even 8-win team at some point, because we sat there and we looked at the roster, and I'm looking at the roster and I'm like, dude, you got a tough schedule. Like, and that's why when I went through it, and I'm going to pull that clip and post it, where I'm like, I could see 1-7 here. Like, I literally could see it. Like, it's right there. Like, I'm a Jets fan. I've seen this story before. It's
way
right
too many times
there. And of course, there is a world somewhere where the Jets are 2-1 because they were in position to win that Steelers game, and they were in position to win the Tampa game. And bad teams lose games like this. Young teams lose games like this. And we get it. But maybe another team. Maybe if the Ravens, who blew a lead on Monday night, maybe if it's something like that where, hey, this is a winning team. They had a lead. They were cruising against the Lions. They were going punch for punch. But then when the Ravens scored back-to-back there, I thought this was their chance to take over, come out of halftime or whatever. Henry fumbles the ball. Lions score back-to-back, and then all of a sudden it's on from there.
Which was a great game, by the way.
Phenomenal. It was like watching a playoff game in the first half. But, in that, they could lose a game like that and be like, all right, we lost one. But you can't lose these games when you're the Jets because you already hold the record. 14 years, American franchise, no
For the longest
playoffs.
drought.
I
Yep.
keep mentioning it because it's embarrassing, especially for a big money market team like the New York Jets. I was 27 years old the last time the Jets were in the playoffs. I'm 40 years old, halfway to 41.
I was 15, 16 years old.
Dude, this is
Insane.
ridiculous, dude. JR, how old were you?
I was 28 and I'm 43 now, or
That's what
29.
this is what I'm saying, dude.
Insane, bro.
This is ridiculous, bro.
Went through a whole decade, bro. Like people had kids.
My whole
like,
30s. No
literally,
playoffs.
like, yo, people had kids. Like I deployed. I was in the military. Like I'm about to have a kid on the way now. You know what I mean? Like it's insane.
Dude.
And I get what you're saying, man. It's kind of at the point where it's like it's not surprising anymore. You know what I mean? But also it's at the point, and it sucks because like, you know, on social media and stuff like that, bro, there's so many podcasts, like so many people talking about the Jets, like people talking about the Giants. And, you know, with the Giants making the change that they just did with Jackson Dart, you know, for us, it's kind of like, let's be realistic. Tyrod didn't look bad. Tyrod was not terrible, but also like me, I said it even before Justin Fields. Listen, I would be okay with Tyrod Taylor being the bridge, that bridge quarterback for now.
That's what screws us. We always got a bridge quarterback.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That's literally what it is. And it's every year, literally for the past 14, 15 years.
And the Giants might as well include themselves in this conversation too, because they built themselves a stellar quarterback room. You've got two veterans, one that's a little bit more talented than the other, but they're both talented, in front of your young guy to shield him through the mess what is now this season, which allowed you to be able to draft a guy like Jackson Dart. Yeah. And because someone wants to save his job, and I understand it 100%, because if he wins with Jackson, even if they want to move on from him, it's like, do we want to disrupt the young guy? Let's give it another year. That maybe Dable can establish himself with a guy out there that's his, tie himself to that. He could be there for the next 2 to 5, 10 years. You don't know, but this is his chance. And this might be I don't think it'll be his only chance because people look at the Giants as a mess as well. But still,
but also
in that they built security and they tore it down. They didn't even put Winston in at all.
Yeah.
They just bypassed Winston as if he's like, you know, Mike White or something, and just went right to the rookie. And now where do you go from there? Because if he struggles, you can't take him out and put Winston in. And it's like so now the Giants are going to have to trade either Winston or they're going to have to trade Russell, which most likely it'll be Russell because Russell's going to be wanting to go somewhere. And then what? And then to feast him to this garbage team with a tough schedule when you could have shielded him, protected him, did what Kansas City did with Mahomes, start him the last 3-4 games of the season, let him get loose, you know, and then start the new year as a starter. I mean, these teams, it seems like they don't learn. Like, how do you not learn? I don't get it. And it's really dumb. And these teams, this is why they suffer. They make bad decisions. They don't do things the way they're supposed to. How do you, in an important year on defense, how do you go out and, like, one of the first things you do as an organization is sign Stevens? How looking at what production do you say he's going to fit in well with Sauce coming in a very important year, contract year, just got signed, big deal, and you're going to bring in a guy who struggled in coverage as one of the worst corners? You didn't want to maybe spend less money and dedicate that somewhere else, and you might as well just put a rookie in there. You might as well just put in a guy, give a guy a chance, give a Brandon Nichols type of guy a chance. But no, we have another team now.
And now, like Whiskey Demon says, Josh Reynolds going to make a difference on the season if healthy. What are your thoughts on him? I don't have any thoughts on him.
No.
Literally looking at his stats. I mean, back in 2020 with the Rams, he had 52 receptions, 618 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That was like the highlight of his career.
Dude's right in.
Dude's been in the league for like 10 years. Dude's like 30 years old. You know what I mean? It's like, and then now, literally, you hurt your hamstring first game. And I mean, our wide receiver room is terrible. I've literally seen posts about like Mason Taylor, and they're like, listen, he's like, someone said like, oh, he's got to be adopted because like there ain't no way Jason's genes are in him. Like, I mean, literally, like he's to me, he's soft, dude. Like, there's no, we don't have, and like going back to the depth, we have no depth in our, like Breece Hall. Once again, Breece Hall running like literally, if there was a tic tac on the floor, he's tripping over it. You know what I mean? Like it's insane, bro. And literally, just like watching highlights, it's like, oh, Breece Hall stuffed again. Breece Hall stuffed again. Oh, incomplete pass to Garrett Wilson. Oh, Garrett Wilson, 2-yard gain. Oh, Braylon Allen, 2-yard reception out the backfield on a swing. And it's like, bro, that like it gets tiring. And like once again, I go back to what I always say. As a player, you know what I mean? Like I get it. You get paid millions of dollars. Some people really don't care. But as a player, like, aren't you tired of losing? Like, aren't you tired of like, hey guys, like we literally have a record. Like we have literally like the worst record, like withstanding right now with the longest drought. Like when is enough? You know what I mean? And I know like, probably Aaron Glenn's in there and, trying to motivate everybody, but literally look at Rob Saleh. I mean, he was a motivator in San Francisco, and we were so excited to have him here, and it's literally just, they literally just suck the energy right out of him. For example, look at McDaniels down in Miami. Literally, I was just on the phone with my buddy before I got on here. It's literally like, oh, like, dude, what happened to McDaniels? Like, he looks like he's going through it this year because he looks way different from last year. I was like, bro, it's one, you're in Miami. Like, that's like, there's really nothing else to say about that. You're in Miami, dude. And also, your team, like, your team just isn't good. You know what I mean? Like, the Dolphins have a blind quarterback too. Just like, and our defense is terrible. I lied. Our interior is good, decent, to say the least. Our secondary, terrible. We keep mentioning Stevens. Stevens is Stevens that, yeah, but there's also 5 other defensive backs on the field. You know what I mean? And like, bro, it's literally just we're always blaming one person out of the 11 personnel that is on the field.
Because he's the one that's allowing the 104 plus quarterback rating against. He's the one that allowed a rookie wide receiver to drop 2 touchdowns or a touchdown on him. He's the one that's allowed, I think, 3 or 4 touchdowns this year on his dime.
But also, Kate, can I say real quick? Egbuka's nasty, bro. Like that dude is phenomenal.
Dude, but you're a starting 2 corner, and he's a rookie, and it's like, why? You could say what you want about Joe, okay, and some of the drafting moves that he did make, but he also made some good draft picks, and he also made good free agent signs and brought guys in off the street that were real good contributors. And I haven't seen that yet. Like, where's the guy from the Lions that Glenn was able to persuade to come over to the Jets? Like, where's that guy, that difference maker? Like, every coach that's came to the Jets that's had success seems like he's brought, like, that's had good success.
Yeah.
Seems like they've brought players with them to believe. Now, I know Saleh did a little bit, but it was more like, lower tier players.
Yeah.
But usually guys that come and have success here bring decent guys with them. A linebacker, someone that believes in what you're doing, a corner. I don't know if the league maybe is not like that anymore. But, I mean, it's just one of those things. We saw it with Rex Ryan when he brought Leonard over, when he brought Bart Scott.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about Bill Parcells as well. All his teams always did that, always brought players over that translated over. And it's one of those things where it's like I'm just not seeing it. Right? Like, and I know and I understand it's year 1. About to go into 4 games here, but it's really year 4.
Yeah, but when are we going to stop doing that, dude? Like, literally, like, dude, we have coaches that go like a year and a half, and they're like, all right, that's it. Like, honestly, bro, let's be honest. If Dable was our head coach and we were in the same situation as the Giants, there's no way in hell we're giving Dable that long of a leash that the Giants are doing. Because the thing is, and the Giants know, if the Giants let Dable walk, their GM's gone too. The GM's not going to have a job either. You know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of like they're just holding on for dear life there. But like for us, it's like, bro, we don't even give Like, we're not giving anybody a chance. Like, Mangini was terrible. Who was what?
Literally every Jets coach that came here, besides
After-
like the last epic failure apocalypse run they were on, made the playoffs like their first year or something like that. Like if you go back through the Jets coaching history, usually like their first year in, like they would make the playoffs and then would just completely fall apart.
And out of nowhere too.
And it's just like how it's been, except for this last 14-year ride that we've been on ever since we did dirtiness in our organization by what we did to Rex Ryan by stripping his team down and pairing him with a GM that didn't want him there. Then he somehow makes the playoffs. Then the GM gets fired. Rex automatically has to come back now, which really he should have been fired too, just start new. But because they played so well that season, and he surprised everyone, he stayed another year when he should have gone. And you got this one there, that one there, this one there, that one there. And it's just this is all from the owner. And yet again, I like Aaron Glenn, but he's still, what is he? A first-time head coach.
Yeah. So my question is now, because just like you said in the chat a couple of days ago, you're like, well, we're picking number 1.
Yep.
So let's realistically, are we going offense or defense? Are we going quarterback?
I don't even look at college until it gets closer to March, just because I don't watch college football. I hate like that everyone just runs around with numbers. You don't know anybody's name. I think it's ridiculous. I think you should put college players' names on the back of jerseys so people know who they are. Do they?
Bro, when was the last time you watched college, bro?
1942.
I'm about to say they got the whole the name, image, likeness now.
Okay, good. But it's just I don't really care for college football, the in and out too much. You know,
for me, I'm very big on college. Well, one, because the U, baby. Miami's ranked second. I'm so happy. Listen, one of my teams got to be good, okay?
But in college, though, dude, it's crazy. It's not even fair. It's like, put it this way. It's like there's like literally 10 teams that everybody goes to, and they just rotate over a decade.
Not this year.
Great, it seems like.
Not this year.
You know, and especially with these NIL deals, you know it's going to be the school.
Which, by the way, I am not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the NIL, but I digress.
We get into that another time. Yeah. We digress back into the dog pile of crap of what this team is, and it's just unbelievable that we have to keep going through this year. It's not even exciting anymore. So what is the next topic that we got, JR?
When will the Jets get their first win?
The Jets will pull up the schedule, JR. Pull up the schedule. What do we got here? We gotta evaluate this whole thing.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but
so we got the
I'm gonna let you go first this time again, because I gotta hear the craziness on how this roster, now that we've seen it operate with our own eyes, how this is gonna work out for us now.
So we got Miami.
Okay.
In Miami, Monday Night Football. Do y'all see a win there? A loss?
Definite loss.
I say we win.
So that's your first win you got. Okay.
Yep.
And then we head home to Dallas. We got Dallas at home.
Loss.
Then we Denver. It's in
Loss.
London.
Loss.
Then we come home against Carolina Panthers.
The way the Panthers are playing right now, I'm going loss.
Okay. Wait.
They just
if they
I'm so high on Penix, everybody.
I know, listen. No, and also listen. I did say I was high on Bryce Young too. But I have a win.
Against Carolina?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then we head to Cincinnati week 8.
In Cincinnati?
In Cincinnati.
That's a loss. Put it up.
Well, the week 9's a bye, so at least we don't lose. All right.
So we're 0-8.
All right. Week 10, we got the Cleveland Browns at home.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
If the Packers, that's a whole ordeal now, because apparently They're getting investigated.
Who?
For throwing the game. The Packers.
They didn't throw the game.
Yep. There's an investigation. Bro, come on, 13-10?
How is that throwing the game? Why would you?
Maybe the Browns are on the come up this year.
They played good against the Ravens, and week one they barely lost with a field goal too. They're not that bad.
Well, anyway, over.
Okay, and then we head to New England. Thursday night football.
I see us losing, but we could win that game, so I'll just go with the loss. Since we haven't won a game yet, I'm just going to go with the loss.
You are miserable, dude.
And week 12, they come to my hometown, or close enough, Baltimore Ravens.
Nope, next.
Home against Atlanta Falcons.
We win there.
Win.
So that's your first win, week 13.
Yep.
Well, I got like 3 wins there.
Yeah, you got 3. And then week 14, Miami at home.
No.
Week 15 at Jacksonville.
No.
Week 16 at New Orleans.
Yes.
The way I see New Orleans slinging a little bit too. I mean, but I'll go with Jets win, sure. Too.
Okay. And then week 17 at home against New England.
Loss.
No, loss. I will split with New England if anything. So 2-3 wins best.
And then the final games at Buffalo.
Loss.
Oh yeah, 2-3 wins best. 2-3 wins best. First pick in the draft. Hopefully
that would be first pick.
Not miss quarterback somewhere, anywhere. Can't miss.
We'll miss though.
Oh, listen, no. We'll get
we'll draft Archie Manning or somebody.
Something, bro. Nah. We'll draft a kid from like Nevada or something. Like we always do.
I mean, realistically, looking at this game, you know, I just don't like the Jets' weaknesses are Miami's strengths.
Right.
Like the Jets can't really stop the run that much, and they have an elite running back who can also catch the ball out of the backfield.
And 2 decent receivers.
And you've got
Waddle
good receivers. And we don't know if Sauce is fully healthy. And even when
we did make that trade.
Oh, for who? For Brownlee.
Dude from Titans. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man. Listen,
Jarvis Brownlee.
No good corners get offensive linemen get cut or traded unless there's some kind of problem with them, or they're just like not there. It's just not working for them. Especially at this stage in the game, if you're not picked up in the market where you constantly need corners, dude, what are you really bringing to the table?
That's what happens.
Maybe sometimes a change of scenery could help some players. These are professionals. Maybe something snaps. Maybe it's the right formula defensively for that player, and it just locks in for him, and he has a solid campaign. Maybe, just maybe, it could work out for us just one time. That'd be great.
Can we just have a little bit of positivity?
We get everybody's leftovers.
Just a little bit of positivity, bro.
Here's some positivity. I like Garrett Wilson.
I feel sorry for him.
I do too.
Tyrod Taylor, he's a solid backup, but there's just too many 3-and-outs, dude. Too many 3-and-outs off the field to wait for the last 2 drives to try to win, and you get a lucky block.
Yeah.
And you still don't win. Like, I started thinking in my head, too. I'm like, what if he just laid down, like, on the 5-yard line? Could the Jets even punch the ball in from there?
It's just frustrating because it's like I was in South Carolina. I was at a wedding, so I was like just looking at stats. Also, I'm looking and I was like, okay, Tyrod Taylor 7 for 8 for like 40 yards, and it's like, oh my God, here we go. What? And just like we spoke about in the first episode, it's literally, when are we actually going to sling the ball, dude? I'm tired of these 2-yard passes that everybody does. Of course, everybody's breaking records for most completions and stuff like that. Yeah, listen, my unborn son right now can complete a pass for 2 yards. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous, dude. It's like, bro, throw the ball. You have a receiver.
It's like, what have you actually worked on this whole entire time that you can't move an offense a couple of drives a game, bro? Like I'm not saying this is easy. We all know it's a high level performance type of sport. I get it. But why is it always the Jets that look like this? It don't matter who the quarterback is. It's always some weird 100-yard performance type of thing going into the fourth quarter. You're barely moving the ball. You're like, what? And it doesn't matter. 3, 4, 5 different head coaches, different quarterbacks, different running backs, different offensive linemen. You're like, what is going on here? It doesn't make any sense. Do you always have to be this bad?
And what sucks is, like, as fans, we sit there and we're like, yo, what is going on here and stuff like that. It's like, oh, how come we're, dumping the ball off? How come, why are we running it? Or why are we passing it on, on 2nd and 3 and stuff like that? But it's like, it's like, as I got older, it's kind of like, there's got to be something going on where it's like, hey, we really need to punch this in, or hey, Braylon needs the ball. Hey, Breece needs like these 3 yards right here. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's like stat padding at this point, especially when we're down like 2 scores in the fourth quarter. And then out of nowhere, oh my God, our quarterbacks actually know how to throw the ball more than 3 yards down the field.
I hate it when it's like 4th and 1. You can't even get the first down.
Exactly. Like,
without that block, we're going down 10 there.
Yeah.
Essentially. So you're like, it's over, dude. You got a lucky block that just doesn't. Dude, and it bounced perfectly and landed like right in his arms. And it was the right player who was fast enough to be able to pick something up like that and score. You gotta win that game.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta win. That stuff doesn't happen all the time. Those are gifts.
Yeah.
Those are gifts. Those are the ones where you're the opposing team and you're like, we got beat by the Jets?
And also, it's also frustrating because it's like what Baker did to, against the Falcons and the Texans. Everybody completely forgot about that. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, but did you see what he did to the Jets? It's like, bro, he literally did the same exact thing.
He did that to the Jets when he was on the Browns, his first game of his career.
It was a Monday night game. I will never forget that. I will never forget that, bro.
That game, and I was like, oh man, the Jets are gonna roll this team. And he comes in, and they weren't prepared at all for anything that Baker Mayfield was throwing out there, and they lost that game. And I knew there was too much time on the clock, and then obviously our weakness got exposed. And I could see the same thing happening to the Jets in this game. Even if they keep it close, then when they start to spread the ball out, go 4 wide, 5 wide, or 4 wide with your running back out, and the Jets can't handle that, set up for a field goal. I could even see the Jets even playing a good game lose, like how they just did, because they cannot stop the pass. And they're also not very good at stopping the run. So if you can't stop the pass and you can't stop the run, what the hell are you good for? And the one thing that they're good for is they actually are able to get to the quarterback a little bit. That's their ability on this team. But it's not impactful for this team because they're not doing anything else well. So it negates any type of sacks or pressure that you're actually putting on the quarterback. Like for instance, in the beginning of the game, I really think the reason why the Bucs had all those penalties was because the Jets defensive line was really aggressive and the Bucs offensive line was having a hard time containing them. And so they were getting a lot of holding penalties and dumb penalties trying to keep Baker clean. And I get it. I understand that. But you still lost that game. So you lost that game with a team that had 8 first quarter penalties. You got a lucky block to get the lead, and you scored 2 fourth quarter touchdowns as your backup quarterback to put you in position to win the game, and you still couldn't win, then when the hell are you going to win? When are you going to piece it enough that, if you were playing the Ravens, like we saw in that game yesterday, Ravens-Lions, where they were just going back and forth, dude, that game would have been just like that Buffalo game, and it would have been 21-3, 24-7 in no time, and we would have been grinded into the ground over the last 2.5 quarters until we just passed out from just desperate boredom and sadness. It is ridiculous what this team has become, this franchise has become. It's a joke. And honestly, I don't think it gets fixed unless it gets sold, just like how the Mets did. I truly don't believe it gets fixed until they get sold, or they just walk into some dumb luck quarterback, because the Jets have always been a defensive team.
Yep.
So there's always defensive players floating around on their team being handed off from one regime to the next regime. Then they get a couple more defensive players, then some leave, then those go to the next coach. So that we've always been a defensive team. We've never had enough depth in the offensive department that if a receiver leaves, another one could step up and be that next rising type of talent. We don't have those types of things. So when we get one nice thing like Garrett Wilson, we wear him the hell out, and he don't want to be here no more.
Okay,
and that's what
so
it winds up being.
So now thank you for the graphic change, JR. But now with, we talk about Garrett Wilson. Braylon Allen's still young. Is it time that we see him with more playing time on the field and basically move on from Breece Hall?
I don't like his movement. He has no.
He's very like cement feet. Like
what is that stat on Madden? Like elusiveness. Yeah, he doesn't have any type of vision. Like he just runs to things. Like I don't see any creativity, and that's the one thing I love about the good running backs in this league. Their vision, they're able to spot holes close in like just a little faster than the average running back, that they're able to change their direction and then hit the hole rapidly. One of the things I hate about Breece Hall as he runs the ball is he's kind of like Le'Veon Bell, where like he's very patient and he's kind of like and then he takes off as soon as he sees that hole. The problem is this Jets offensive line doesn't create many of those holes. So you really need to get going off rip. Like as soon as they hand you the ball, you need to be hitting that hole hard so you can get your 4-5, your 3-4, your 5-6, your 3-4. Like, but he's not doing that. He's pitter-pattering, kind of doing these like little like lame shakes, and he's getting lit up, tackled, knocked down, tripped up. Like I really don't like how Breece Hall's running the ball right now. But it's not because he's not capable. His running style doesn't fit what our offensive line is doing right now. Like I could see Breece Hall going to another team where there's like more holes, and with his patient style, he would be breaking off bigger runs a lot more often.
So Breece Hall's an 86?
In what? Overall? Yeah, man. I mean, this guy has everything you want. I think we've all established that the New York Jets always just ruin players or don't use them to their full capability.
Yeah, so ball carrier vision, 85. That's low.
No, I like his rating right where he is. About an 85, -2, -3 right now in Madden. If we were playing, I'd have him like at an 83.
Nah, and Dan, and you know what's funny? So if you look at his archetype, he's an elusive back.
Yeah, but and that's the thing though. He is, but he's patient. He's patient like Le'Veon Bell, the way Le'Veon Bell looks at. But that's not the type of line or style that we're playing right now. He needs to hit these holes a little bit harder. And then for Allen is just like, he doesn't move his lower half. It doesn't like he doesn't. So if you're maybe over the course of a game, like what if you put Allen in for a full 20? Does having to tackle someone a little bigger than Breece Hall, a little bit more aggressive of a runner, does that wear teams down enough that you can catch them with a play action? That you can do these types of things. Is he that type of guy? I don't know.
Yeah, so Victor said you sound like Woody comparing Madden ratings, and it's sad where it's like we actually have to pull that stat up. But also Victor also said, why are both our pass rush and pass protection disappearing at the same time? Both were good versus Steelers. You know why, Victor? Because it was the first game, everybody was healthy and everybody was sort of conditioned going into that first game. The problem is our pass rush is they don't get enough breath on the sidelines because our pass protection is has been terrible the past 2 games. It's not giving our defense enough time to rest on the sidelines. That's really what it is. Like we have what 2? We're averaging.
Put it this way: the defense isn't that good, and the offense is allowing that defense to touch the field a little too much, and they're getting exposed.
Exactly.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's even a clip of Rex Ryan someone's talking about Aaron Glenn's defense. He's like, it's basic. Like you're going out there and you're basically you're not confusing anyone out there. Like it's basic. And
like
we don't
how Todd Bowles was with his defense.
Yeah, but at least when it comes to Todd Bowles as a heavy blitzer like Rex was. So
Right.
It's like, so you make up for some player deficiencies when you can blitz, So I'm very interested to see how this team is used as the season goes on and what type of player adjustments they make. Like, I don't want to have you making player adjustments because a guy made a mistake when there's mistakes all over the field and you cut him. I want to see you take a player like Stevens and make him better in your system, like I've seen with other players that have come to the Jets and have had success, like Quincy Williams, like DJ Reed. These guys came over and they had success on the defensive side of the ball.
So now
bust their screens for a season.
Yeah. Do you think it would be like we have Brownlee? Okay, not we don't really know how Brownlee's going to be in the system, but would it be easier to move him to CB2 and then basically drop Stevens back to safety?
No, because I don't think you want to kill his confidence too early. I think making the move.
I mean, realistically, you traded for a defensive back. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we obviously need help here.
Yeah, but also Sauce is banged up too, and he's not playing well, and Sauce is banged up. And I did see Michael Carter look a little beat up as he was leaving the field. So maybe you're just, I wouldn't, but I think it's a little too early for that, even though he's playing bad. I think this gives you an excuse now he knows he's a professional and he's a player. He knows, hey, there's a new guy in town. I need to step my game up. If you don't step your game up after they just traded for a cornerback, then you're toast, dude. You're useless. Because then eventually Brownlee's going to start, and then he's just going to be playing a reserve role, and then he'll probably get cut next year. It's just one of those things where it's just like, then you waste money. Then you become one of those teams where you're just wasting money, and it's just like you're wasting opportunity, you're wasting money, and I don't know. I'm very up in the air. I like the tough guy role that Glenn plays, but again, it works for a very small period of time. Like, what people don't tell you is like Dan Campbell plays those types of similar roles, rolls the dice on fourth down, takes chances, tough guy. But there was an actual climb to his success.
Right.
So if Glenn does not have a success after his rookie year, it's going to get bad because the message is just going to get dulled out. Like, I don't even think he makes it to a third year if they don't have success next year.
I don't.
If they're awful this year and they're awful next year, and he's still preaching this rah, don't make mistakes, all this kind of stuff. Like, if he's doing that and they're going into his third year and you don't even know if they're a playoff team yet, he may not even make that year, dude. It's possible that he may not even make that year. The only thing that might save him at that period in time is if the Jets draft a rookie quarterback and it's tied to him and they don't want to make any sudden changes. But they can do that because he is a defensive head coach. And that's another thing that I think the Jets need to wake up to is getting a competent, which I don't know how they even do that because they've tried and it hasn't worked, but a confident offensive mind as a head coach and start turning the Jets into a modern football team that actually could throw the ball down the field. Because in this league, if you're going to be good, and you're going to be one of those teams to get to the AFC Championship game, to get to the Super Bowl, you have to have a quarterback that could throw the football down the field. And that's period, end of story. There's usually one team here and there that leaks in every once in a while that doesn't have a great quarterback. But those days are starting to slow down now. You're starting to see less of that because you're starting to see more quarterbacks that are more talented play in those types of games. And the quarterbacks like, Tannehill and these types of guys that make the playoffs with these franchises, they make the first round and get kicked, second round get kicked, that type of thing. It is hard to get over the hump.
I mean, realistically, look at the Jaguars in 2019, Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And then after that, he was gone. And that's how that and that's how that is, because it's hard to replicate something like that. You have to have a good quarterback. You just have to. Just go to get to the Super Bowl. Now they could have a bad year and maybe fall off one year. That's possible. But to even get to the Super Bowl, you have to get through Patrick Mahomes. So that stops you at the AFC Championship game right there. Then to get through them, you name a host of other AFC teams that are very good, that have solid quarterbacks. You have to get through those guys to eventually get to Mahomes. So let's say, okay, we got to get through Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Great. So now you're at the divisional round. That's where you get kicked out. So unless you can beat Lamar Jackson and Mahomes, and that's just two guys. I can name a bunch of other guys that are coming along the way. We talked about Herbert and how and I already told you guys about Herbert with the new head coach in the second year around coming and everything like that with Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But this is a problem because you're basically going to get New York Knicks. You're going to get Jordan, where Jordan kept a bunch of dudes out of the championship. You're going to basically be kept out of the playoffs for more year, let alone the Super Bowl, if you don't get a confident quarterback that can compete with these teams. I don't care about your defense. That's great. You got a defense that gets up 30 points a game, by the way. It's not good. It doesn't matter if you have Quinn and Williams and you sign Sauce to $800 million deal. If you're giving up 30 points a game, you suck.
Yeah.
And Sauce is just a name. And I think he had an awful game the last game. I didn't like the way he played. I don't care what stats show. And I don't even know if the stats are favorable because I didn't get a chance to look at specifically Sauce's stats in that game.
Well, and also Mike Evans got hurt too.
Yeah. And the Bucs were down, I think, one or two offensive linemen to start the game.
Well, Wirfs hasn't played.
Yep. And there was one more.
I
think there was one more offensive lineman that wasn't playing that started for them. And so you had that. You had Mike Evans. You had 8 offensive penalties in the first quarter. You had a blocked field goal. You had 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns by your backup quarterback put you in the game. Still couldn't win.
And also another thing. And once again, Baker Mayfield's running for 30 yards down the field.
Yep.
On a scramble, literally just literally zigzagging through our defenders.
So you had that game with all that included. You still couldn't win. You had your first game where Justin Fields played nearly a perfect game as a quarterback as you could play.
Still lost.
And still couldn't win. And then you get blown out by Buffalo. And this is why I tell people, if you can't win when someone's giving you a gift, when the hell are you gonna win? Because you're playing some teams that will attack your weaknesses. These are teams that have either a good passing game or a good running game, or some of them have both. You're not playing too many bums on this schedule like yourselves. So it's one of those things where it's like, it scares me. It's going to be a very bad year for the New York Jets. We could be talking to nonsense for about half a season. But before we get going, we got to get predictions in.
Yes.
Go ahead, give us your prediction, then we'll go to JR and we'll get his.
I'm about to say yes. Make sure we get JR.
No,
Make sure we get JR, bro.
I don't even want to give no predictions.
No, and listen, honestly, hold on, wait, for the record.
Wait, we don't play on Sunday?
No, we play
Monday
Monday.
night.
Oh man, come on, man.
Hey, it's early though.
At 7. We play at 7.
7:15.
Oh,
it's a doubleheader.
Man, I thought we were playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was excited, man.
Also, for the record, we want to apologize to JR because we totally forgot for week 2.
Well,
but anyways,
my predictions would have been way off. I
was close, by the way. I said what, 31-17. We lost what, 30-10. 30-10. Yeah, I was close, a little bit. But
is Justin Fields playing?
Probably, right?
I think so. I haven't seen anything about it yet.
Yeah, probably. He better, because he's taking a friend of mine's job if he beats them.
Listen, I'm trying to be as positive as possible, bro. And because that's me. 24-16. The Jets.
Good.
24-16 Jets win.
Okay.
You gonna explain or what?
I think we're gonna fluster the hell out of Tua, and they're gonna have to rely on the running game, which I think we'll be able to stop. Listen, I think we lost the game against the Bucs, and I know we talked about, hey, we looked great after the Steelers game, and then it was the complete opposite against the Bills. The Dolphins are in shambles right now.
So are we.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, the Dolphins had way higher expectations than we did. So I think a lot of things are going to start clicking. But
this is the Dolphins get right game.
Yes,
where they get their first win of the season at home to a team that is playing a quarterback coming off of injury in his first season in the first playbook that he's had from this regime, coming off one of the worst games of his career. If people think they're going to start off quick, I don't know. We'll see. But what I do know is the Jets are giving up 30 points a game. What I do know is there's not a single cornerback on that team that could stop Tyreek Hill or Waddle. That's what I do know. And what I do know is that the Jets missing Quincy Williams, who's one of the best sideline to sideline linebackers, I think even in the NFL, he's not there. That I think the Dolphins are going to be able to attack the edges of the Jets. I think Devin probably has about 125 yards rushing on us. I also like their backup young rookie running back as well. I don't know if Jay Wright's playing, but probably not. But that one kid, I forgot what his name is. I like him. Tua is a very accurate quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. One of our biggest weaknesses is Stevens.
Have you been watching this year?
No, but I'm just saying.
Tua's been terrible.
I'm just saying overall as a player, he's
Tua's gonna find himself at the local food line with his brother.
Yeah,
very
check
soon.
Check this out though. He's historically been an accurate quarterback, and you're playing one of the worst cornerbacks in the NFL currently right now in the NFL. And I think that they're gonna get right. And I think they drop a lot of points on the Jets at home. And I don't think the Jets can keep up. And I'm going with the Dolphins winning 30-17.
Okay.
All right. My prediction is a little bit different than both of y'all. I got a weird outcome that's going to happen. All right. So the Jets are going to start off the first drive, and they're actually going to score. So it's going to get our hopes up. We're going to be like, all right, the boys are in here right now. So it's going to be a tough battle at halftime. I got it 17-10 Jets. But there's a key injury that happens. Tua gets hurt and goes out of the game. Here comes Zach Wilson in the second half.
Stop it.
Zach Wilson's going to end up picking up 2 TDs, and we're going to fall short of the Miami Dolphins 27-24, and Zach Wilson will lead the Dolphins to a victory.
JR, I'm telling you right now.
It's so believable that it does not seem awkward to me.
It doesn't.
It doesn't at all.
Other quarterbacks do that to the Jets. So it's not like I've seen backup quarterbacks come in and play well against the Jets. So it is not foreign to me whatsoever. And it is so believable to me that something like that could happen.
I hope not.
That's crazy, dude.
Again, we went over the schedule. Like, this is with the team that we have, first year coach, all this kind of stuff. This is going to be a very bad season. Like,
That's
even
funny, Victor.
even look at the show, bro. Like, this is how me and JR know. The reason why we're not global superstars right now is because it's the Jets. And I'm being serious with you. We went on a run for a while where we were growing, bro. But because the Jets suck so bad, the fans just start tuning out. And it's the same thing. The first few weeks of the season, numbers are high. Then all of a sudden, numbers would just start dipping. And then people would just disappear on the Jets. Because I don't blame you. I'm not going to be sitting here watching a Jets podcast trying to get information and get excited and little tidbits about a team that's about to get their butt whooped, for a 14th consecutive season. So it's just one of those things where I don't blame people 100% for how they feel with their takes about the Jets. I no longer am one of those people that sees a comment and just goes, Oh man, these basic fans. It's a first year install.
No,
I don't do that
you
anymore, dude.
can't.
Because it's been so bad. I'm not really giving you that credit. Now everybody else does. So yeah, Aaron Glenn's first year is basically a free pass. But I don't think it should be. I need to see talent growth from the young players, and I need to see growth from Justin Fields because you spent a lot of money to bring two players here that are significant players, cornerback 2 and quarterback 1. And if I don't see growth from these players, then you have totally had a garbage of a season if it finishes how I think it possibly could finish. This could be one of the worst Jet seasons of all time. And I'm not even lying to you. They don't even be just the way it shows. Because this team wasn't even supposed to be this bad, technically. There's a lot of people that had the Jets being like, well, they're going to be competitive in every single game, and it's going to be okay. Granted, I got you. Competitive in 2 out of the 3 games, could easily be 2-1 right now.
But then once again, we going back to the first topic. We lose in the most Jets fashion way ever.
And
That's
here's the thing.
what it is.
I would even let that pass. I would even say, okay, I would let that pass. But the reason why I can't let that pass is because they never turn it around into something different where it's like, okay, this is just first year. This is just, it always is just that.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't let that pass. And that's why I can't let that Steelers game go. And that's why I can't let that Tampa game go because you're not going to be given and afforded that many opportunities. And if you want to be that team that surprises everyone, it's like, look at what they're doing here in New York. Beat the Steelers week 1 when you have a lead at home, right? And your quarterback's playing out of his mind. Beat Tampa when you have a luck bomb just dropped in your lap. Close it out with 1:40 left, dude.
And bro, that's
they
didn't
even need that. They didn't even need all that time.
Bro, in like two out of three games, we've literally lost by like end the game field goal. That's literally what it is.
But when you look inside the details of that game, they're being handed gifts along the way.
Oh, it should have been an ass whooping, 100%. I mean, well, it really was going into the fourth quarter. We were down 23-6.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie.
It was on its way to being about just as bad as what Buffalo was. It could have. The only reason why it wouldn't have been worse is because it is a backup quarterback, and so it's kind of like it doesn't hit you the same way as your starter.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because think about it. Tyrod Taylor has been in the league for how long? You know.
Yeah, but I've seen that from Tyrod. Like, you know, he'll have like a couple drives, like 2 drives, 3 drives a game that are good. And then, you know, there's a lot of scramble here, a couple yards, you know, a couple pass here, 3 and out.
Pick 6.
You know, things like this, you see them happen with backup quarterbacks. But when your starter coming off literally one of the best Jets debuts of all time, and he just comes out, it just looks like he looks so lost.
Yeah.
From like the first snap, he didn't look comfortable playing against the Bills. And when you play that bad, you're just like, this is like the reality of my situation right now.
Yeah.
And it just throws you off. So, but I think for me, the kicker here is if the Jets are going to win this game, it always starts with Breece Hall. He's got to run the ball. They have to win up front because of the patient style of Breece Hall, the type of runner he is. And that's the thing. I would say, listen, if we can't accommodate a line and a system that fits Breece Hall's needs as a running back, he's already had a knee injury. Let's just get something for him. We're not a good team anyways, and we have 2 young backs that we could test out as well. Okay? Like essentially the Jets waste like the best years of their best players. You know, you're wasting 3, 4, 5 years of Garrett Wilson. You're wasting 3, 4, 5 years of Breece Hall. And then when you put a team together, you expect these guys to be, whoa, electric. You wasted their electric years.
Yeah.
Their electric years are gone, buddy. They're 28 to 30, and they're like, hey, man, like they get
and especially as a running back, like that's it. Like once you get to like 29, 30, I mean, your shelf life is it's over.
Not everyone is Derrick Henry. Not everyone is the size of Derrick Henry that falls like a basically like a tree. You know, where it's like he's tackling other people more so than other people tackling him. most times, and so
Yeah.
he lands differently than a lot of these other guys. But it's tough. But they're gonna have to find a way to piece together an offense to make a complete game. It's getting real bad. But we're over time. Thank you guys for tuning in YouTube,
Yes,
Facebook.
sir.
We appreciate you, and we really appreciate you guys reading the articles as well. We're getting a lot of views on those articles, like 2,000, 3,000 views per article. Let's translate that into views on YouTube and in Facebook. We got to share this while it's live. So as you're watching it, we want to share it while it's live the most. And tune in every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes,
JR,
sir.
thank you once again. Did we get your prediction in, JR?
Yes.
Yeah.
27-24. Zach Wilson
What?
going to be the hero.
Oh, you had it. Oh, that's right, because he comes in the second
Yeah.
half. And gets out the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It sucks, but listen, it is what it is. We're hanging there together. We'll make it through.
Yep.
And maybe, just maybe, once in our lifetime again, we will see
Fingers
the Jets
crossed.
in the playoffs. Mach. I almost said Mach Guru. Mach Guru now.
You are now watching Mock Green Podcast.
Okay, let's go.